Hey everybody, this is Bonnie with Bonnie Bay Crochet. Welcome to Friday Fun Live. Let me move over this way a little bit. I wanted you to be able to see Hannah's doll behind me. Welcome to Friday Fun Live. It has been a couple of weeks since we've been together. And I wanted to, first of all, thank you all for your love and your care for Hannah, for me, for our whole family through your prayers. Heaven's been busy in June. Mrs. Barker is now rejoicing with the Lord and no pain, no tears. Her polio leg is healed. Really, really excited about that. And we have such an amazing hope. Also, in case you didn't see some of the Facebook postings, we have to say goodbye to a crochet friend. I knew this was going to happen, but we're going to get through it. We're going to get through it. Diana, or D. Kagi, she was one of our watch subscribers. And those of you who've come to the Zoom meetings, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, my dear. Hannah's such a sweetheart. But anyway, if you've ever been to one of the Zoom hangouts, Diane has been there. She was living down in Florida, originally from this area. So very, very sad, but yet really, really happy for her. For those of you who may remember her, she always asked for prayer for her son, Stephen, who is suffering from epilepsy. So I probably said too much there, but anyway, those of you who remember her, if you can think of her, the funeral is going to be in the Baltimore area. If you're looking for information on that, please contact me and I can send you that information. And they're requesting, in lieu of flowers, this is for D. Kagi, that a donation be made to the St. Jude's Research Hospital for Children. And on behalf of myself and the Bonnie Bay Crochet community, I've already done that. But if you're interested in doing that as well, you can definitely contact them, or you can contact me and I can get you some more information on that. Okay, got through the hard part. So it's been, like I said, it's been quite a ride this past week, this past month. But okay, some good news. Tomorrow is the 250th semi-quincentennial. How do I say that? Semi-quincentennial, 250th celebration. And I have some things I wanted to show you because I'm old enough to remember the bicentennial and remember it well as a teen. So we're going to be talking about that in a little bit. But let me go ahead, and if it doesn't break me up too much, I want to greet you, my friends here, because you guys are just probably the most amazing community that I know of, at least online. So and Brett's mom is the first one to chime in this morning. Thank you so much, Linda. And wishes us good morning, and to all of our dear Yarnies from scorching Southwest Chicago suburbs. Please, friends, don't forget to smash that thumbs up button. Prayers for everyone. Thank you so much, Linda. I so appreciate that. And Susie Pops Creation says, looking forward to your live today. Happy 4th of July weekend. Yeah, thank you, Susie. I don't know what you all are planning on doing. I am just 40 minutes outside of Washington, D.C. I have been to a few celebrations downtown Washington, D.C. on the 4th, and I will tell you, they're absolutely amazing. They're predicting weathers, as somebody mentioned, a bit being a scorching heat. It's supposed to be probably around 100 degrees, and it's not a temperature that I want to be far away from either an air-conditioned car or an air-conditioned house, quite frankly. If I were younger, I might venture out and spend the whole day walking around in 100-degree heat. We're not doing it this year. We're coming out of a season of, as you can imagine, we're also in the midst of preparing for a funeral that's yet to come, which will be in about a week, and we'll be traveling for that. A lot of emotional stuff, a lot of exhausting activity. I think we're going to enjoy this one locally. We're going to probably go to a local parade early in the morning and maybe watch that, and I think enjoy the rest on the television set in air conditioning with my hook and yarn nearby. I know that sounds like kind of a cop out, but I also want to stay healthy and don't want to make the obituary section or the news due to heat stroke or heat exhaustion. So, and I know a lot of y'all are kind of in my demographic as well. So, and even if you're not, you can still get very, very sick out in this heat. Just a little story from about 38 years ago. Yeah, that's right. We're coming up in about a week and a half on our 38th anniversary, wedding anniversary. And I remember even as newlyweds, walking around Williamsburg, Virginia, and it was very hot because we got married in July. And I know that both of us were at the beginning of heat stroke or something. I remember just the nausea and all of that. And we were youngsters. We were in our 20s. So do be careful out there, no matter where you are, what you do for this wonderful holiday. Enjoy celebrating. Wow, think about it, 250 years of liberty, of freedom. It's probably one of the most grand experiments in government to date, and by the grace of God, um, it's still hanging in there. It's still working, and anyway, just love my country very much without apology. I'm not going to go on an apology tour. I love where I live. And that's not to demean any of y'all watching from other countries. It's my hope that you feel the exact same way about your homeland. I know many do, and that's the way it should be. All right. Okay, Miss Wanda Gordon, is so glad to have you here. And she says, praying for all here. God bless. Thank you so much, Wanda. I so appreciate your faithfulness. And Hannah, this is weird. I'm able to look across the room and I see her right over there. Hey, Hannah, with her headphones on, listening. Um, and she says, hello, everyone. Happy 4th of July and happy 250th anniversary of the USA. Absolutely. And Barbara, great to see you in the chat, my friend. Um, just love your flowers. Those are amazing. That would just make my mom, my late mom, so happy. She loved those kind of flowers that you grow there in Alaska. And Diane says, hello, Bonnie. Diane here from hot New Jersey. Yeah, we're just south of you, Diane. Yeah, we get it. It's hot. My sweet husband was just out there cutting the lawn. I think he's getting close to done. So just to, as my daughter says, we're going to have Sounds of Summer coming to you live from Gaithersburg, Maryland. So he was wanting to get out there and get it done early before the sun is just raging. And we have Randy says, hello, Bonnie, Hannah, and everyone. Hey, Randy, so glad you could join us. And Jennifer, waving right back at you. And Margita, waving back at you too. And Sheila says, happy 4th of July to all. Everyone stay safe and cool if you're dealing with this heat wave. Yes, ma'am. Currently in central PA, it's 100 and feels like 109 with the high humidity. Whew, living in South Florida while I was growing up, during my childhood, I am so glad they didn't have the heat index back then. They just had the temperature. I think if they had the heat index, I don't think I ever would have gone outside. Although I must say, Florida doesn't get as hot in the summer. Some of you are going to not believe me, but Florida does not get as hot in the summer as it does in the true South, in the Carolinas, especially in South Carolina, and places up here in PA. Of course, it's shorter lived. Florida does have the humidity, and you have the humidity index, which again didn't exist when I was growing up, thankfully. But you just got used to it, and we had something called the tropical breeze down there. I know it's not perfect, but we get a lot of rain. We off and on, and I never remembered 3-digit temperatures down there. It began because of the tropical breeze. You go up a little bit north to Georgia and to South Carolina and some other states around there. That's when you get into the 3 digits. So just want to clarify. I know there's going to be somebody that's going to say, oh, you're wrong about that. And it's like, that's what I remember growing up. I remember 3 digits, but they were always north. They were always north of Florida. Now I know the panhandle can get a little hot, but I digress. Anyway, I think I'm longing for Florida a little bit. I miss my home. Where did I leave off here? I just okay, that was Sheila. I just read Sheila's comment. All right. It's going to take me a while, guys. I'm a little little rusty at this. Crafty Lee says, "Good morning, everyone. I'm new to the channel and excited to be here." Well, Crafty Lee, great, so great to have you. Thank you for joining. Um, Thank you for commenting. It's great to know that you're here. This is a really great community. And thank you for helping us make it even better. And thank you, Wanda, for your prayers. And uh, Hannah says to Diane that it's a balmy 95, but it feels like 100 here in Maryland. Hot, hot, hot. Yeah, I stayed inside almost all day yesterday, and then I had to go out for a meeting, and it was interesting because it was like 7 o'clock or quarter to seven, and we're going out the door, and it just like the wave of just oppressive heat just hit me, and yeah, it was hot. Now I didn't even go out in the hot heat of the day. Thank you, Jesus Joy. Thank you for the comment. It says, I pray for comfort and peace to you and extended family for your loss. God bless you all. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thanks for sending that to me, Hannah. And for Missy, thank you for your kind comment. And Kathleen says, hello from Northwest New Jersey. My daughter Nancy and I send you lots of healing hugs. Thank you, Kathleen. I so appreciate that. Sheila says, it feels like 100 here, even though the temperature is 95. Still too hot for me. Yep, it's time to stay in and crochet. And Red Hook says, hi, hello, Bonnie, Hannah, and everyone. Good news. I just started to walk. Doctor says the leg looks good. Just to take it slow. You take it slow, my friend. Yeah, I saw that this morning about the broken leg. So sorry to hear about that. You want that to heal properly. I have you on my prayer list, praying for quick and total healing for that. Oh, thank you, Susie Pop. She says, happy you are back and doing better. Yes, thank you, Susie. Yeah, things were kind of dicey there for a while, and we're still not out of the woods. We got a lot of things to take care of, as you can imagine, when a family member passes. But yeah, we just needed to get some solid sleep and rest, which we're getting there. I'm not going to say we're totally there, but we're getting there. You know, certain things happen and trigger the emotions, and we just have to just take it as it comes. And Cynthia says, happy Independence Day, one day early. Yes, thank you, Cynthia. I hope you have a great time, whatever you do. Barbara says, Bucky's t-shirt. Yes, ma'am. This is my Bucky's t-shirt. My daughter picked one up. I should show it to you on the back too. If I could, can you see the back? Can you see the back of that, Hannah? Stand up. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, it's my I Love America and Bucky's t-shirt. They're so much fun. And I do really enjoy that place. I know it's kind of crazy. It's been a lot of fun for me watching some of these Instagram videos, these little short Instagram things of people who have heard all these terrible things about the United States, and then they come visit for the first time to go to the World Cup, and they're like, wow. I mean, we know we're not perfect. I mean, no place is perfect, but they're like, this is so much better than I ever thought. And I just, it's kind of funny to me to see some people going into a Bucky's for the first time and just kind of mind blown. One thing I love about Bucky's, besides it's just got a lot of fun things you can get to eat, super clean bathrooms. They sell artwork in the bathroom. I mean, where else do they do that? 100 gasoline pumps. I mean, that's insane, but you can pull up to the pump and get what you need. But the other thing is the people there are super friendly. They're very kind. They've been trained in what they call customer service, you know, instead of, dare I say it, our local Michael's where, oh, the self-checkouts are right over there. And there's no one to tell you that because there are only two people running the entire store, which my heart goes out to those two people, at least at our local store, because it's just overwhelming to leave that with just two people. But it's just the opposite of everything automatic and you serve yourself. Bucky's is like, how can we help you? And again, nothing is perfect, but overwhelmingly the service is cheerful. People are there to serve. And I just, you know, it's contagious when you experience something like that. Makes you want to go back again and again. And we do when we're traveling. And let's see, Alana says, hello, computer acting up, but I'm here. Happy 4th. Well, welcome, Alana. I hope my computer stays on board with us today because, yeah, it's been acting a little strange too. It gets a little slow. I think I need to clear out some video work on it. And Missy says, my son's birthday is tomorrow, right along with the US. That's fantastic. What a great day to be born on. I have a friend in South Carolina, or a couple of friends in South Carolina. He's now a Presbyterian minister and he has a beautiful wife. They were married on the 4th of July because I remember going to the wedding and I think I played in the wedding. It was kind of great. I think I played in that one. It was a long time ago. It was probably 40 years ago or more. All right. We have Fernandad, if I'm saying that right, Fernandad from San Diego of Chile, Santiago. Okay, Santiago of Chile. Excellent. Well, welcome. Buenos dias, amigo. Thank you. I'm embarrassing myself here with my language skills, but anyway. And let's see, we have Crafty Lee says, here in Bear Valley, California, we always have the hot air balloons on the 4th of July. They're so beautiful to watch. Oh, that would be really cool to see. I'm not interested in going up in one, but I would love to see them. I imagine they are so beautiful. And Alana, thank you for being there, interacting with Hannah. Okay. Okay, Barbara says, do you like it? Okay, do I like Buc-ee's? It would be nice if they had us a 250th sweatshirt available. I'll look online to see if they have a sweatshirt. Hannah, do you remember if they had sweatshirts for the Buc-ee's t-shirts? Hannah? Hannah? She can't hear me. She has headphones. Do you remember if they had these with sweatshirts or were they just t-shirts? Okay, they were just t-shirts, Barbara, so sorry. Yeah, living in Alaska, you probably need more sweatshirts than t-shirts. Okay. Yeah, Hannah has headphones on, and they're a set of Bose headphones, so she could not hear me across the room. All right, so and we have Sampler Worker says, hello here from Connecticut. It's already in the 90s, and I can't wait until Sunday when the heat finally breaks. Yeah, that would be nice. If it breaks for you in Connecticut, that means it's going to be breaking for us in Maryland, just south of you a bit. We have Johnny says, good morning from Georgia. Oh, I bet it's warm down there. Thanks for joining us. And Sampler Worker says, hello. Yeah, our temperature in Maryland is 95, but it feels like 100. Bleh. Yeah. Yep. It's one of those days to just kind of stay in, sip some cold drink, and get your crochet out and work on something small, preferably not a blanket. But anyway. And Randy says, our AC went out yesterday morning, which wasn't fun. Luckily, we got someone out this morning to fix it. Oh, wow, that would be awful. Yeah, definitely got to have that. It's interesting. Okay, I'm going to step on some toes here. I don't mean to, but it was interesting to me. I don't know if you've heard some of the reports coming out of different places in Europe where people, unfortunately, have died because of the heat. And a lot of places in Europe, they don't have air conditioning, mostly because they haven't really needed it that much. But I remember some friends of ours, and I won't even say what country, in a country where my daughter stayed, worked as an au pair for a while, and they were kind of mocking us Americans because we had to have our air conditioning. But at the time, this is a family that was living at the foothills of the Swiss Alps. So you can imagine it doesn't get very hot there. But when my daughter was able to convert what the temperature is from Fahrenheit to Celsius for her, they're like, oh my gosh, I can't imagine anything that hot. And it's like, yeah, that's why we Americans love our air conditioning in our cars, in our homes, for those of us, who can afford it. I grew up in South Florida without air conditioning, and we managed okay. because we never, again, the tropical breezes. Remember, I told you the tropical breeze that really do help out a lot. And our homes were built in such a way as to get the cross ventilation with the breeze coming through the house. So it can be done. But yeah, just keep in mind, the it's different in different parts of the world. Some places it's very hot, and some places it doesn't go much above 70 degrees Fahrenheit. So yeah, but I really do. My heart does go out for those of you not having it, and you need to have air conditioning. I would definitely find out if there's a local civic center or someplace, or go to the local library and stay inside and read a book and stay cool. It might be something that you can do, but I know as people get older too, our bodies have a harder time regulating the temperature, so it can be particularly dangerous. And I am just monologuing like crazy. Well, let me go ahead and show you what you came here for, and that is to see some fun projects. Let me go ahead and start with a project that was released. I guess it's been about a week and a half ago. This is the Drifting Weave dishcloth, which I had a lot of fun doing. And this stitch also appears in our flag that you see back behind here. Where is it? Okay, I have two versions of this. In the flag, there's the first stripe that goes with the blue field, which would be the seventh stripe, and the white stripe right at the top before the last red stripe are different versions of the drifting weave, which is basically like a basket weave, but it's kind of offset with each row, and it sounds more complicated and it looks more complicated than it really is. I would even suggest this for a confident beginner. I think all beginners, once they can establish even crocheting, just across the row without it increasing or decreasing, once they can get even crocheting, just straight up single crochet, double crochet, whatever, I suggest let's bump it up a bit. Go ahead and learn something new, because that's the most important way to keep the the passion for crochet alive. If you just do the same things and never learn something or do something a little different, in my opinion, okay, this is my opinion, this is not law for everybody, but by doing something different, I think it makes it more interesting. It's like I don't, I don't sell things that I make like these on Etsy, because I just don't want to be sitting doing, 50 of these things a week to sell things in that sense. I like to explore new things, new places, new stitches. So anyway, for this, I used a DK weight cotton. This is 100% cotton. This is from Paintbox Yarns. Of course, you can use any cotton you want. If you want to use the thicker number 4 weight, you can. It probably will be a lot thicker if you did that, but don't let the pretty colors or the pretty stitches fool you. With this kind of cotton, you can scrub pots, you can clean dishes, scrub real hard with them. They will last forever. The color may not, but the actual cloth will. I have some um, in my hot pad drawer that are at least 20 years old. Of course, they're kind of a neutral looking color at this point, but they're still very functional, and I use them for scrubbing dishes. So they do have this on sale right now. I don't know the current sale. I think it's up to 40% on some of these. It might be like 35% off, but they do have these available online. I do have a link, I believe, for Lovecrafts in the video description, should you be interested in any of that. Now, as far as the regular peaches and cream, the kind that you find at Walmart, I have a new project coming in a couple weeks. This is the wattle stitch dishcloth, or you can make little coasters with this. If you just want to do the first 6 or so rows, 6 or 7 rounds, whatever, you can make a set of these, which I think are kind of cool. I did use a variegated color yarn. You can use just plain yarn, would look probably just as well. But one thing I love about the round dishcloths is if you want to use this as a hot pad, it's round. You can just set this your hot pots or whatever on top of this, and it's a nice decorative thing. It'll protect your counter, especially if you have a counter like me. I am still in the past a bit. We have Formica tops. We don't have those fancy marble countertops. So we have to be careful. If we put something that's too hot on there, it will scorch it and make a mark. So this really helps that a lot. Plus, it makes it look pretty. Now, if you want, you can fold this in half like this, and it becomes a hot pad. You can actually, or a pot holder where you actually grab something hot. I know it looks awkward the way it is, but I do this a lot. Fold it in half and take things out of the hot oven, but only after folding it in half. It's interesting. I was getting something hot out of the oven yesterday. I cooked down a ham, and I had one of these from an older design in one hand, folded in half, and then I had a purchased uh, pot holder that someone gave me and was taking it out. And the one that was purchased, the heat was coming right through it. The thing is, okay. But this one was fine. So I had to be real careful. And I actually threw the other one and I grabbed another cotton handmade one because they were just better. They're better than the ones you can buy. And when you buy one of those cones, I have it in the other room, but a whole cone, it's like about anywhere from $12 to $14, depending on where you buy it. I was going to say Joann's, but Joann's doesn't exist anymore. Walmart, I think I've seen them there for about $14. You can probably get about 10 to 11 of these out of just one spool of that thread. These you could probably get 25 or 30. I don't know exactly, but this wouldn't take much at all. If you want to make a bunch of, coasters as a gift for Christmas, that would be something that works up really fast. These work up really fast. And again, are very, very, very practical. And also, if you wanted to gift them, you can fold them in different ways or just kind of grab it like this and, kind of put them in a cup or a jar, and they make a really pretty decorative little flower. And you could even just set these on the counter in a bowl, different colors. And whenever you need something, you just, pull it out. Just an idea if you want to try to, be a little decorative. All right. Let me show you. I'm just going to show you stuff. Okay. I may not get to all the chat. I'll get back to the chat in a second, but I wanted to show you some other yarn because we have our own Hobby Lobby now in Gaithersburg, Maryland on Shady Grove Road. It's right next to the Home Depot, not too far, right off of 270. For those of you who know the area, it's where the old Best Buy used to be. So I've been working on a project with this. I love this cotton. This is their Hobby Lobby brand. I'm really loving this. I made something I can't show you just yet, but I will show you later with this. And I just got to hide about a dozen loose strands, and then I'll be getting that project down the road. And I'm also working on a project, a wearable with this. I love this yarn. This is 100% acrylic. I think this is the first time I've actually made something substantial with this yarn. And I'm really surprised by it. I have been through, I'm on my fourth skein with this project, and there have not been any knots in it yet. And that's kind of one of the things I use to rate yarn in my little mind is like, okay, is this full of knots from the factory or not? And I find this is very soft to the touch. The yarn so far has been very consistent. Let me tell you the yardage in this. You all probably know this better than I do. This is a number 4 weight acrylic, 355 yards or 325 meters. The original price for that yardage is $4.99. But I got this at one of their yarn sales, which I'm told happens about every 2 weeks, which I'm excited about because I'm going to go back once the yard sale comes on again. So I got this at 30% off. So if it's $5, 5 times 7 is 35. So this would, I paid $3.50 for this on sale, $3.50 for 355 355 yards, which I think is very much comparable to getting the paint box yarn that I also enjoy, the paint box Simply Aran. It's very comparable to that in price, depending on the sales that you get, maybe even a little bit less expensive. It just depends on if you buy it on sale or not. But I really do like the feel of this so far. As far as how it wears over time, the jury is going to be out on that for a while. But so far, it looks really good because there have been some projects where I've used yarn that actually started to pill before I even was halfway through the project. And that's always a warning sign. This is not doing anything like that. So, anyway, well done, Hobby Lobby. I'm really looking forward to doing that more. All right, let me read. So I got a question Hannah sent me from Randy. Says, is there a particular brand or blend of cotton yarn you'd recommend for those of us who have difficulty with cotton yarn? Okay, understood. The two that I just showed you, the one from Hobby Lobby is 100% cotton. I would not use that on dishcloths and things. I would maybe reserve that for wearables because it's really soft. I'm guessing it would. I don't know that it would hold up as well for scrubbing pots, but as far as having it against the skin, it's really nice. And as far as okay, I'm giving this computer a second because it was glitching on me. As far as crocheting goes, it was very soft and easier on the hands, much easier on the hands. This was very easy on the hands too, but not as much as the Hobby Lobby yarn. So the Hobby Lobby yarn, I love this cotton yarn. It was easier on the hands. There was less resistance. I don't think the twist was as tight as it is for a lot of other cotton. This cotton seems to be nicer in quality than the regular stuff that I showed you, that you use for the dishcloths, the peaches and cream. The peaches and cream, okay, this is also a DK weight. So it's a lighter weight. It's a little bit easier on the hands, I think, because it is a lighter weight. Again, these are all my opinion. I do love using the peaches and cream cotton. I've used that a lot. Like I said, used it for this. I always keep it on hand. But this is the cotton that I say it's wonderful. You end up with a great product. It is going to be rougher on your hands. So it's going to pull at your joints more. If you do use this, just don't binge on it. Don't do it hour after hour after hour. You will feel it in your hands, especially your dominant hand that you crochet with, I promise. But anyway, like I said, it's been a pleasant journey with some of the other cottons. So I would definitely recommend the paint box cotton, and even more so the I love this cotton from Hobby Lobby. Again, my limited experience. There are more bougier brands out there, but those are the kinds that I would say stick with making garments with them. I wouldn't use the real bougie or expensive or more expensive types for just dishcloths. I would stick with the economical stuff for those. All right, let me get back. Okay, Randy and Phil say the yarn sales at Hobby Lobby, you get 30% off every other week. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I heard. And it wasn't this past week because I just went with Hannah, like again, to check out our brand new store. They opened June 1st. We've been out of town. So we were able to go like July 1st and check it out. Is that when we went? Yeah. So yeah, we will wait patiently until next week until they have another yarn sale. But thanks, Phil and Randy. Let me get back to the chat. I know I'm behind. I'll get a little bit of time in here, then I have some really fun things to show you. Yeah, Brett's mom says, I'm going to miss Diane. What a precious soul. Yeah, she is. Always, it's amazing. And talking about Diane or Dee, it's really cool. She entered the fair for the first time. And let me talk about that. That'll be the next thing we can talk about. Um, she entered the fair, her local county fair, local that they had there, and she won. She won a couple of blue ribbons, and she won a second place red ribbon, and was just really happy. She did well, and I want to recommend if you all have the time. I mean, this is not a mandate you have to do, but if you're interested in going to your county fair and they have, a home arts area, try entering some of your stuff. You may not win the first year, you may not ribbon, it doesn't matter, I think, but then again, you might. My daughter-in-law entered the, Maryland Sheep and Wool Festival for the first time ever, and she came home with the 2nd place ribbon, which is pretty remarkable considering that it's, that particular contest is open really pretty much internationally. Um, I do have a book. It's an older book that I published many years ago called Winning at the Fair. And yeah, those are pictures of some of my ribbons. Um, when I was able to understand better how does one get the best of show or get a grand champion, because those were just things that I used to dream of as a kid. But I think just really honing your craft in, and this booklet tells kind of my story, and I have a lot of very practical suggestions in here. It's a very very small book, it's larger print, you can probably read it in an hour. um, and it just has little tips, and hints on how to prepare your items for entering into your local, state fair or county fair. And I mean, you're not going to get rich doing this, but it is so much fun, and it could just really encourage you to help you to even be better. Because a lot of times the judges will put personal suggestions on the back. They may say what you did right, and occasionally they'll say maybe if you hide those loose strands. And that's one of the biggest things that has happened to me, and I've seen as being on the other side, being on the judging end of things, have a beautiful project, but they did not even bother to hide their loose strands. They didn't even think about that. The little things that you can do to make your work better and stand out. And also, if you participate this way, you may be able to become a volunteer and meet other crafters and other people in your locale, the local area, that have the same passion. And you can make friends for life. I have made a few really good friends over the years doing that. Oh, by the way, the book is available on Amazon, Amazon.com. Just Winning at the Fair. And this came in the mail a few weeks ago. I was really surprised because this was not even on my radar. I got a really nice letter, and this is from my local fair, which I've been volunteering for a long time, and uh, didn't think too much of it. But I've become an official associate member, which means, in layman's terms, I've completed 100 hours of volunteer service and entitled to the rights and privileges as provided by our bylaws. What that means is I can get free entrance into the fair whenever. It only took, I don't know how many years, and I probably didn't even add up all the hours, but probably could have gotten this sooner. I got a little pin, um, just to show that I'm an associate member, um, of the Montgomery County Agricultural Center. I've also been providing, for those of you who live in my area, I do provide a special award, one for the best youth project, and that I give, and it has it's a gift card. Let me drop my glasses here. It's a gift card that I kind of give, as well as a framed certificate. And I also have an award for the best original design for any category. Where mostly it's for the adult categories, or for the open class. So if you have designed something that's your design and you're in the Montgomery County area and you want to participate in the fair, tell them that it's an original design. Make sure it goes into that category. And if you're a youth, that would be under 18. And make sure that your age is put on those on your entry cards so that it will be eligible for this award. It's the award is given blindly. What that means is I don't know who the names are on these projects. So the awards are given, that way to make it all fair. But I just wanted to let you all know there are other awards as well. There are nice, beautiful ribbons, but I think mine's the only one with the monetary gift card attached. So if you want to increase your yarn storage, go ahead and enter that. Or if you're not in the Montgomery County area, no, most of you are not. Check out what is available locally. And it might be bigger, it might be smaller than what I'm used to. Montgomery County is very well run. The ladies who have been put in charge of that for the last several years, well, last really 25 years or so, are excellent at what they do, and they love to encourage. And I know not all fairs are run as well. Some are maybe run better, but definitely check that out so that you can get your just put it out there. Put it out there. Don't be afraid. And it just gives me something to look forward to year after year. And if you want to volunteer, it's a great way to get to meet people. Volunteer by taking in the entries or whatever they need. And I look forward to that coming up in early August in our area in Montgomery County, Maryland. Also, just wanted to thank Terry and Beth. Um, thank you for your beautiful card. I so appreciate you all, and I do hope to see you guys. And that reminds me, I'm looking for papers here. Wanted to tell you that. Let me go ahead and get this up here. Stitchburg Fiber Festival is coming up. It's next month. Can you believe it? Next month, August 21st through the 23rd at the DoubleTree by Hilton, Pittsburgh, Cranberry. That's be the location. That's the hotel you want to book. It's in Mars, Pennsylvania, which is just outside of Pittsburgh, PA. We're teaching 2 classes on Friday, multiple ways to crochet ribbing in the morning, and an introduction to reading crochet patterns and stitch diagrams in the afternoon. If you don't know how to read crochet patterns, you will know how when you leave this class. You'll be so surprised how easy it can be when you have this key. And reading those stitch diagrams, we're going to talk a lot about that. I have a lot of really complicated ones to show you, and you'll see just how easy they can be. August 22nd, which is Saturday, I'll be teaching 3 classes. Beginning knitting for crocheters, 8 a.m. sharp. One of my favorite classes to teach. You will be knitting when you leave. I don't say that because I'm so great. I say that because the technique I use is so similar to what you're already doing with your crochet hook. And once you apply that, you'll be like, eureka, kind of a aha moment. That's the way it was for me, and I've only been knitting maybe 7 to 10 years. I lose track of time, but which is not much time considering I've been crocheting for 57 years now. Ooh, okay, don't do the math, okay? And yeah, I started before I was born. There you go. And I'm going to be teaching Celtic Weave and Beyond at 11:45 in the morning. And the afternoon is going to be crocheting the Saxon cable. So I hope you enjoy that. I hope you can come join us. I love Stitchburg, which formerly known as the Pittsburgh Creative Arts Festival. It's in a newer hotel. So hopefully this one, the elevator won't smell like burning rubber. It did last year. They needed to repair one of them. So they had one doing double duty. So that was a little creepy, I did talk to the people at the desk about, did you know it smells like, 18 wheelers are doing burnouts in the hall down the way? And they're like, oh, okay, we'll get that fixed. So they did. It kind of worked out. But anyway, we're going to be in a newer building this time. So I think it's going to be really great. The Yarnsmith and another couple that I can't remember the name of is now organizing that. So I hope you can come and enjoy that. And it is probably, in my opinion, and from my experience, one of the most economically priced classes that I teach anywhere. And it's the same class that I have taught at Interweave, where the price was $125. It's going to be $50 here. So it's not that I do a lesser job or anything. It's just that the way the economies are, of the different locations are, this is just a more affordable situation. So definitely check out, if you've never been to a fiber festival. Please consider, there are going to be a lot of other activities besides the classes. So even if you don't take any classes and you just want to hang out with people in the halls making things, it's a wonderful time to just get in conversations. Go to the yarn shop, and the yarn market, which is made up of a bunch of independent sellers who kind of descend on the area. And from what I understand, there's a waiting list, so it is filled. There are going to be a lot of sellers there. All right, I wanted to show you this, and then I'll get back to the chat. Um, I asked early on if y'all remember 17, I mean, not, I don't remember 1776, but I do remember 1976. And I just wanted to show you, I've shown you this before, but when in 1976, okay, and I was crocheting, I was in, I think, 8th grade or going into 8th grade. What was that sentence? So that would have been a summer, yeah, before my 8th grade year. I made a granny square bikini. And no, I'm not going to demonstrate it for you. Although it's a very modest bottom here. So just to show you, I do not recommend wearing something like this. It's made of acrylic, and I'm sure once it gets saturated, it's probably just for sunbathing only, not for going in the water. I wouldn't trust this to stay up. um, Although it probably should wick away the water. It probably won't absorb that much water, but I'm not willing to try. But anyway, I just wanted to show that to you. Something from the past, from the 1976 era, where everything was red, white, and blue. And this did appear in an older Crochet World magazine, and this is the cover up that went with it. Isn't that fun? It's it's quite long. So it actually covers your bottom when you wear this. So I imagine it'd be hot as blazes because it is also acrylic. Of course, if it were made of cotton, it would absorb the water. It would be cooler, but if this were made of cotton, it would definitely become water saturated and probably not stay on very long. So anyway, so thought this would be kind of fun to show you. Made this 50 years ago when I was a kid. And I wanted to show you something else. And it looks very worn. This is my late mom's. And I'm just going to show you. This was another thing I made, red, white, and blue, because it was 1976 and everything had to be red, white, and blue. You can even see the strands that need to be hidden here. But this is just a fun poncho. It's I guess a shawl buttoned down the front. And I was even able to find these really cute red, white, and blue buttons. Of course, everything had to be red, white, and blue. And I show this to you because my mom, I mean, she put an awful lot. You see the fringe at the bottom? It was definitely the 70s. My mom put a lot of wear on this. Every time we would, remember, like I told you, we were in South Florida, in Hialeah, and which is near Miami. For those of you who don't know where the famous Hialeah racetrack is, Hialeah was probably more well known, but back in the day, but not so much anymore. Whenever we would go grocery store shopping, which was usually Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening, she would always be wearing this from the time I made this onward. She always wore this because she would freeze as soon as she would get into the store because she did not like the air conditioning. We didn't have air conditioning at home. She wasn't used to it. And the refrigerated section of the store would just really freeze her out. So she would wear this pretty much everywhere we went, indoor, for restaurants, whatever. And my sister was much younger than me, and I made her one that was matching. So I just wanted to show you these. These are kind of fun. I would love to do something like this again, but I just want to be really careful not to infringe on the copyright. Even though this is a very old pattern, it was written in the 70s, I guess, and I actually borrowed it from my late friend's mom, and yeah, my friend Becky, her mom, Carolyn Stone, let me borrow the pattern. And she was the one who really helped me learn how to read patterns. And that was one of the hardest patterns I had read up until this point. And I learned a lot from doing these. All right, let me go ahead and find out where I put my glasses. Right down here. What time is it? My watch tells me it's time to stand. Oh well. Hannah just sent me okay, where can people purchase paint box yarn in the States? Okay. If you look in the video description, you can buy it from lovecrafts.com. It's all, I do have a link in the video description. It's an affiliate link. Just to let you know, if you ever use my affiliate links or anybody's affiliate links, it doesn't cost you more. I just get a little bit of credit for having told you where it's available, which does, which is very helpful to me personally. But you can also get them at webs.com, webs.com. They're this kind of, they are kind of joined now, or one bought the other. I don't know how the arrangement was, but they basically are the same at this point. So yeah, Lovecrafts and Webs are under the same umbrella, and that's where you can buy the paint box yarn, all sorts. They have it, like the kind that I like to use in acrylic. They have the DK weight in cotton. They have 100% wool. I haven't used that yet. My daughter-in-law did, and she liked it a lot. They also have a blend where it's an acrylic wool blend. So yeah, look online to see. They have a lot of different varieties depending on what you're looking for. Alrighty, how far behind am I? Pretty behind, huh? And Missy says, I probably won't be able to watch long. I'm heading down to the lake. Good for you, Missy. And Felicia, so glad to have you here. Waving right back at you, Phil, finally. And Grammy Rita, great to have you here. And Jesus Joy 7, you too. Oh, thank you, Ola Joe. She likes the bikini. I'm afraid my bikini days are long gone, but it's so much fun. I'm glad my mom saved that. My mom saved that in her cedar chest, and I saved that after she passed. So, yeah. And Archer Nay says, Bonnie, love from us. Hope you are well, and we will see you all in Pittsburgh. I hope so. Thank you again for the beautiful card and your care. I appreciate that so much. And Pamela, thank you so much for your kind comment there. And okay, thanks, Phil. She says Universal and Barocco also have nice cotton yarns. Yes, they do. Very nice. I like, yeah, I like both of those yarn companies. Actually, I wish their yarns were more available in local stores. I know Barocco, a lot of times you can find their yarn in the local yarn stores, more the boutique style stores. Oh, thank you, Jesus Joy 7. I guess the congratulations. Okay, I get it. Okay, I'm remembering now. Yeah, for the fair thing. Thank you so much. And is it Gerlinda? Gerlind? Thank you so much. Thank you, Felicia. Yeah. Oh yeah, and Jesus Joy 7 says, Phil, you're correct. Also, Knit Picks has a Pima cotton, but not many colors. Yeah, their Pima cotton's pretty good. I've used that as well. I just wish there were more cottons that you're looking for, like available in big box stores. And I think if you just have to stop at one place, and if you have a Hobby Lobby, I think they have the best selection as far as cotton goes. Just haven't seen that much, like at Michael's, for example. And that's the only thing that we have big box wise would be Hobby Lobby now, which is really good. And then Michael's. And Michael's, of course, would carry the other kinds of brands. Yeah, I mean, now smaller yarn boutique, local yarn stores might have even better things to choose from. But yeah, Barocco Knit Picks online is really good. Oh, thank you, Randy. Say they love that book on the fair. Thank you. Um, and Jesus Joy 7 says, have to stay out of Hobby Lobby. My friend suggested to me just to pick up a basket and not a cart. Yep. Of course, then you have to walk back to the front of the store for the cart eventually. So if they have a really good sale. Um, yeah, and then Phil's recommending Lion brand Pima cotton is soft too. Might be a bit much for dishcloths though. Yeah, I would stick to the lower cost, uh, tighter wound items for those for sure. And thank you, Hannah. Just uh, thank you, thank you for all that you're doing here. Um, I'm reading backwards as if you can't tell in this some of the chat here. Carol says, "Thank you, Hannah. That's very thoughtful. I'm a subscriber, so I will check there. But just wanted to say that for anyone who can relate." And what were we commenting on there? Okay. Oh, okay. Hannah's talking about books and puzzles. Yeah, great. Um, and let's see. Yeah, everybody's chiming in about the 30% off. Thanks, Susie. Um, yeah, and Ola Joe says, I love to use the cotton. I guess it's the cotton you're referring to for garments. Yeah. I think they're cotton or they're acrylic would be fine for either of those. Um, and Pamela says, Crafter's Secret cotton at Hobby Lobby is more of a kitchen cotton. Yes, yes, it is. I've seen that, and that's what I would pretty much use that for. Yeah, they've got you covered there on the cottons at Hobby Lobby for sure. Um, and Pamela says it's very hot in central North Carolina. Oh, I bet it is. I bet it is. Pamela, I spent so many summers when I was in college at the University of South Carolina, south of where you are, in Columbia, which is kind of like a bowl, which the air does not move. And it would easily be 100 degrees, and we'd be out there learning band drill and music and stuff, for the upcoming fall. Some of the hottest summers of my life. And this is coming from someone who grew up in South Florida. So, yeah, Carolinas can get stinking hot. I know North Carolina's, yeah, right there with us. Yeah. Um, all right. I just want to make sure I hope I didn't skip anybody. If I did, I'm not doing it intentionally. I just want to be mindful of the time and don't want to hold y'all here too much longer. All right. And is it AWMA? AW Mayfield. I'm sure that's an abbreviation. It says, I love that yarn too. There's a sugar wheel variegated cotton yarn at Hobby Lobby too. Little skeins, but very pretty. Their cotton is definitely softer. Yeah, I've seen that. I've definitely been tempted by that. Actually, it's in the other room that I bought one because Hannah liked it so much. She's like, "Can you make me a poncho for my doll?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I think I probably could." So, if see the doll behind me right here, one of the American Girl dolls, um, Hannah loves to rescue those. She rescued one yesterday from a thrift store for $6.99 and fixed and it's in beautiful shape. She just had to fix her hair and she's great at doing that. So I might be dabbling in the future a little bit in just smaller pieces that are American Girl, or I can't really call it American Girl, but 18-inch doll, so I can stay away from the branding when I actually put these out. Um, I may start dabbling in some items. If you know, like I have a daughter or a granddaughter or a niece in your life that likes to play with those. Um, um, oh, okay. That's okay, Hannah. Um, yeah. Someone's asking M. Mig about, if I ever visit New Jersey, meeting up for some crochet or knitting lessons. My sister and I would definitely pay for a private lesson with you. That would be fine. It's just a matter of the timing and just working with. It would be really probably best to do that maybe at a local yarn store. So if you know of a local yarn store in your area that is looking for um, a crochet teacher, please let me know and maybe we can do that. Depending on where you are in New Jersey, because I don't know how if it's one of those things where I have to get a hotel for the night, then that kind of ups the cost for me personally. But yeah, do let me know. Yeah, let me know. That sounds like a fun idea. That's why I like to do conferences in different places because it brings opportunities to meet people in really great atmospheres and stuff. Um, yeah. Okay. All right, I'm gonna try to catch up a little bit. You know what? I probably ought to need to just get going here, but I will definitely look through this. Okay, Felicia says she was in 10th grade in 1976. Ah, you're older than me then, Felicia. Oh well, no, just kidding. But not by much, not by much. Maybe 2 years. So, yeah. Well, welcome. We're both in the 60s club. So yeah, I definitely remember 1976. Phil says he was 3. Phil was just a baby. um, yeah. So you probably don't remember that much about it. I remember I remember Jimmy Carter running for president, and I guess it was Jimmy Carter and Ford. Was that right? I think that's what it was. Running for president that year, and there was a lot going on. The Iranian hostage situation. I remember putting a bunch of yellow ribbons on our flag in our front yard, waiting for them to come home. Um, but that was later. That was later. I'm sorry. That was in 1980. That was 1979, 80. So that was a little bit later, but that was Jimmy Carter time. But yeah, that was the era. A lot of that stuff happening. Um, and Ola Joe says, cover up too. Nice. Wow. Love it. I'd wear the whole set. Great work. Well, Ola Joe, if you're looking for that crochet bikini, I think you can still find it at Annie's Attic because I saw them a couple years ago selling that kind of, I guess, because I don't think they mentioned that it was a 1970s design, but it is. So when you look at the picture, I think the lady's wearing one that's green and yellow trimmed in white was the original, and I had to make it red, white, and blue. But I think you can find it at Annie's Attic, and if not, you could probably just whip up your own version of that very easily because you've got the knowledge to do that, girl. Archer Nay says she was 16. Ah, you're one of my elders, Terry. Not just teasing you. Thank you, Bonnie. She says those are beautiful. My mom taught me to crochet, and I wear her shawls so I can remember her and feel close to her. How sweet. And Molly says, Bonnie, where can I purchase paint box in the States? Okay, yeah, Hannah, I think sent me that. Yeah, check Lovecrafts, LOVECRAFTS.com, or just look in the video description. There is a link to that store down there somewhere. And Bonnie says, I'm in Southeast PA, would be interested in joining you. Very well, if you ladies, Southeast PA, Pennsylvania. I wonder where, because I'll be in the future. I'm going to be heading up to the York area once things with the funeral are finished in South Carolina, and once things just kind of settle down to a normal chaotic pace here. I'm going to be visiting my son and his beautiful wife Molly up in York, Pennsylvania. So, and I know there's a yarn store around there. Maybe I'll talk with them. If York is anywhere near you, let me know because I can maybe try to set something up with the yarn store there for a future, class or a special something there. Thank you, Tangled in Yarn. I love that, Annette. Thank you for your kind comment. She likes the flag. Um, And Phil says there are local yarn stores that have online shops that sell Queensland yarn. Yeah, the yarn shop near me called So Original, they carry some Queensland yarn in stock, and that's a really nice brand too. Um, and Phil, okay, 905 and one exit from the border. Huh, okay. All right. Okay, because you're giving directions to Jesus stories. Okay, great, got it. Um, Thank you, Lolana. She said, need to go, but have a great day tomorrow. Thank you. You too. I know you're probably already gone. And Smorksy says, come to UK. You can stay. The thing just left me right when I was reading the thing. That was not very nice, computer. Uh, Hold on a second, guys. I got to figure out where I was. Um, Guys, gee whiz. Hold on a second. I was reading this really nice comment from somebody in the UK, and the thing went right before my eye. Okay, I answered that. I answered that. That. Oh, you guys are so patient to stick with me. Maybe it just disappeared. But anyway, sorry about that. Um, yeah, Phil says you'll find Queensland cotton in local yarn stores. Good. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Uh, what's this? Says for everyone, it is such a great time. Says Archer says not me. My father dislocated us from Wisconsin in June. My grandma died the same month. I have never gotten over that. 4th of July meant nothing that year. Oh, that's so sorry. So sorry. Um, Archer Nace. And Hannah says she's so sorry to hear that. And Jesus, got so many conversations going here. I guess is that your age, Jesus Story 7, -19? um, yeah. Yeah, okay. A lot of conversations here. Well, anyway, little some fun talk about the bikinis. Oh yeah, we can't talk too much about that. I'll have to change the rating on this video, but yeah. People thought says lost many a crochet bikini in the ocean. Oh yes. Um, Fairy great granny. Yep, yep. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Um, yep, I get it, and I think that was one reason I switched to one piecers because it just was a bit more safe. Let's just say down in South Florida. Um, yeah, and yeah, Fairy Great Granny. What a great name. I like that. And Hannah says that's scandalous. Yes, it is. But all of us ladies are going, yeah, yeah, yeah. 70s were not great for everybody. um, Okay, I think I found where I was. All right. Yeah, it feels Jesus Story 7 says they don't have many local yarn stores in San Diego. They don't carry Queensland. I imagine it'd be really hard for a local yarn store to stay alive with the rent that it would probably take to be in San Diego. Wow. Phil says, I was in San Diego yesterday. Well, you should get around. It's amazing with that truck. Um, Thank you, Hannah, telling MMIG that I have a lot of beginner videos on this platform you can check out for free. Hope those can help. Absolutely. If there's anything you need help finding, you can email me. My email is in the video description, and I do answer those. I don't have a bunch of lackeys or people working for me. It's me and me and me and me alone. If there are mistakes, it's all my fault. So it's an easy one person kind of a deal for the most part. Hannah graciously helps me with the administration moderation here. Um, Ola Joe says, I used to test patterns for the American Girl doll. Very cool. It's fun making clothing and accessories for the doll. Yeah, I may try doing some of that because I know it won't take very long to get projects done. It'd be fun to whip those things out quickly. Meg says I'm in okay, Southeast PA. Okay, that's where I was. All right. And we have, let's see. Okay, okay, I'm finally catching up to where I was. Okay, here it is. S Morgsy or SM. Well, anyway, it says, "Come to the UK, you can stay at mine, LOL." Actually, I'm serious. I would love to go back to the UK. Let's let things settle down there a little bit. I would love to go back there. Um, yeah, no matter where you are, really, whether you're in the country or in town, that would be really cool. Um, and all right. Let me see if there's anything. Thank you, Joy, just for your prayers. I so appreciate that. She says, everyone have a safe and wonderful Independence Day here in America. Um, all right. Well, you know what? I so appreciate all these comments. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to end it so that I can give my moderator a break. But I do want to read some encouraging truth. And, we started off on a really a sad but yet very joyful note. Two people, beloved people in our lives, are now with the Lord, and um, I can say that confidently about both my mother-in-law and about Dee, and it's not because of the good works they did, but because of their trust in somebody else, who, namely Jesus Christ, who died on their behalf to cover their sins. So I want to read this passage. It's been on my mind for a few weeks. I wanted to read it a couple weeks ago, but just did not have the energy or the strength to really go on. It's from Spurgeon, and for those of you who've never heard of Spurgeon, this is called Morning and Evening. Um, he was a 19th century preacher, and in London, among other places, but mainly in the UK. And I just love this man's writings, and I want to read this to you. And it's based on the verse. It's a little lengthy, so stick with me if you will. It's a little lengthy. This is Christian encouragement, but I think this is Christian encouragement that can apply to just about anybody who's listening. Um, and this is based on Revelation 22:17, which says, "Whosoever will, let him take the water of life freely." Jesus says, "Take freely." He wants no payment or preparation. He seeks no recommendation from our virtuous emotions. If you have no good feelings, if you be but willing, you are invited. Therefore, come. You have no belief and no repentance, come to him, and he will give them to you. Come just as you are. Take freely, without money and without price. He gives himself to needy ones. The drinking fountains at the corners of our streets are valuable institutions, and we can hardly imagine anyone so foolish as to feel for his purse when he stands before one of them and to cry, "I cannot drink because I have not 5 pounds in my pocket." However poor the man is, there is the fountain, and just as he is, he may drink of it. Thirsty passengers, as they go by, whether they are dressed in fustian or in broadcloth, do not look for any warrant for drinking. Its being there is their warrant for taking its water freely. The liberality of some good friends has put the refreshing crystal there, and we take it and ask no questions. Perhaps the only persons who need go thirsty through the street where there is a drinking fountain are the fine ladies and gentlemen who are in their carriages. They are very thirsty, but cannot think of being so vulgar as to get out to drink. It would demean them, they think, to drink at a common drinking fountain, so they ride by with parched lips. Oh, how many there are who are rich in their own works and cannot therefore come to Christ. I will not be saved, they say, in the same way as the harlot or the swearer. What? Go to heaven in the same way as a chimney sweep? Is there no path to glory but the path which led the thief there? I will not be saved that way. Such proud boasters must remain without the living water. But whosoever will, let him take the water of life freely. So that just really blesses me. And I think it just, even though it's in a 19th century um, imagery, um, it says a lot. And if if that's you in that carriage, get out, take a drink freely from the living water. Um, and you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to check all the boxes. It's just so wonderful that he just says to come, and that's my hope for all of you out there, especially if you don't know this Jesus. It's never too late until it is too late. So, and then I just again, that's why I can confidently speak of my mother-in-law and of Dee, and it's just a blessing that we can do that, and I can. There's a saying: Christians don't say goodbye; they just say "see you later." Anyway, love you guys. Looking forward to hopefully meeting you in 2 weeks. Next Friday, I'm not going to be able to go live. We're going to be busy with family again with the funeral. So hopefully, we'll see you all in 2 weeks. God bless and have an absolute fantastic 4th of July if you're in America. Bye bye.